Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Grab a Cup of Knit and Chat. Today is September 28th, 2025, and it's about 3:35 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. So, if you want to sit, knit, and chat, grab a cup of something hot or something cold and join me. I have coffee. Um, with homemade creamer in it, and I love it. I have recently found concentrated coffee, which comes in a little bottle, and it's just concentrated coffee. You put like a tablespoon in with hot water to make hot coffee, or in cold water and cream to make a iced coffee, and I love it. Just letting you know. My creamer is a cinnamon brown sugar, and I found some creamer recipes on allrecipes.com, and there's several there that I like. And it's just, if you keep heavy cream and milk in your house, it's just simple to make, and it's just a little bit of time, 5-10 minutes at the most. And I usually make a serving's worth, which is about 2 cups, and that lasts me a week. Okay, coffee talk is done. This is episode 42 of my eclectic knitting channel, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I'm using the sunlight from the window. It's like I said, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, so it's not like glaring in the window, so the light keeps going back and forth, and it looks like flashing red. I had a comment last time about what's the flashing red, and that's what it is every time it goes behind the clouds. On the video it shows like a flash of red for some reason. But it's not too terribly hot in the Willamette Valley of Oregon. It's actually, like, for me, a perfect day. We went up in the mountain or foothills this morning looking for mushrooms. My partner, he found some mushrooms, and we had some for lunch. I put a short up of me walking Charlie in the woods. Right after that video, he decided to not go anywhere. So that was a little hassle, but we got out and got some fresh air. It was nice. It was much needed, even though I didn't want to get out and go. It was much needed. I'm thankful that I was kind of talked into going today. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but with me, if you've been here before, excuse me, that does not mean a whole lot. It does mean that I can ramble. I ramble quite a lot. I'm making a note real quick of something that I wanted to talk about that I didn't make a note of before. Today, my traveler's notebook, she's getting chunky. I mean, she's right up there. My partner said I better watch it because she's not made to be that chunky. But honestly, I think it's more the big, huge skeleton paper clip that I have in there, and I had said on my last podcast that I would show you, and that's what they are right there. They're just bulldog clips, and they don't have anything on them. They're just the wire, and so they're called skeleton bulldog clips. We'll put that in there so you can see it better. And I love them. I do. So I have this one in my traveler's notebook holding, this is, she sits there and holds my yarn bands for all my works in progress. That being said, let me see, what did I have that I finished that I need to show you? These two. I have a what do you call it? The pocket. It's like a Ziploc pocket type thing in my traveler's notebook as well. And you can see here my Legacy Fiber Arts yarn band. And some stickers. These are little black cat stickers that have like yarn themes. Well, not really yarn themes, but you can see him there. He had a ball of yarn and I bought the stickers. I love it. This came from a tag from some yarn that I bought, and I can't remember what it was, but I glued it on the front of my projects notebook. This is what was holding my yarn bands onto the front. I had two of these and the yarn bands were all split and it was getting difficult for them to hold it. So I took it out. But the envelope thing, this is one for the passport size traveler's notebook. This is what it looks like. It has the zippered pocket. This hadn't been used yet. It does have a zipper pocket to it. And then it has card pockets. So the traveler's notebook has two here and two on the front. The one that I have in here has three there and three on the front. So I have plenty of pockets. On top of that, the only other thing to talk about on my traveler's notebook is I have my little affirmations notebook here where I was writing my affirmations in. Some of you liked that, the 3 things for the day. One thing that I did that makes me happy, one thing I appreciate about somebody, and one thing that I accomplished. I haven't done that in a week or two since I got sick. I have a journal that I journal in every morning, and I've just been kind of jotting them in there. But I need to start putting them in here again. I also have some paper towel in here, as you can see, because I just changed the ink in my fountain pen, and I noticed that right after I changed it, I would write something, I would close the book, and then it would kind of like smudge. So it's not a real expensive fountain pen. I got it. It's a Speedball fountain pen, and I found it at Hobby Lobby. So when I first put in the new ink, which you can't see the window, there's a little window there. You kind of can see it. That shows that it's full. These have a little cartridge that you can take in and out, and you put it in and it clicks, and then you can write with it, and it's awesome. I don't really have anything to write on right here. I mean, I do, but not something that I can write on and show you. So yeah, I noticed that the other day after I had to change it, so I threw that in there, which you can get a container of cartridges. That's what is in here too. That kind of makes the traveler's notebook kind of thick because I carry spares. It's like $4.50 for 10 ink cartridges. I carry the spares in here because that's where this pen is. And then I have other pens that I found on Amazon that I have cartridges for. So there you go. My little rant about my traveler's notebook today and all of the things that I'm going to be taking in and out of it. So there you go. There's not a whole lot to talk about this week. I say that and I wrote down several things. I've been working on items. I finished 3. One of them wasn't a work in progress last time. The other 2 were. And I haven't really done a whole lot on the whips that I had shown I think I did a whip parade last Friday. Or last week. So all of those whips, I've only worked on a couple. One is my test knit with Le Garçon, and I'm not going to show it until I make sure that I'm allowed to show it. I know I can talk about the Striptastic hoodie that they're coming out with a pattern for, and that is in test knit right now, and that's what I'm test knitting. And I'm doing a size 7, just so you know. That's about it. The first finished object is my folded hat by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. That yellow marker right here is where I showed it last week on the podcast. And then I finished it, I want to say pretty much that day. So I started it on September 18th and I finished it September 21st. And I think, if I'm right, that's the same day that I put the last podcast up. This is using Always Be Kind yarn, held double, and it's a pink one-of-a-kind mystery skein. That's this right here. Always Be Kind yarn. It's merino nylon, so it's a 75-25, about 460 yards, and it's a variegated. It's got all kinds of stickers over it. Sorry. If you're ever in the Eugene, Springfield area of Oregon, Always Be Kind yarn is local to there. And you can find their yarn at Cozy Yarns in Eugene and String with a STRING, Stringfield Yarn Company in Springfield, Oregon. Love it. So this folded hat by Kay Jones is a newer pattern of hers, and what it is she does a folded brim where you're starting the stockinette stitch. You cast on and you're just stockinette stitch all the way up for a certain amount, and then you're turning it over and you're sewing it down as you go, so you have a double brim. And it's done. It's not a provisional cast on. This is the inside. A lot of people like the inside, so if you watch your weaving in of the ends, it looks cute with the reverse stockinette. So that's the inside showing the pearls. That's what it looks like on the picking it up. And I didn't do it great, but it's there. I noticed on mine that it kind of flares out a little bit, kind of like a bucket hat, and I don't really like that. But I haven't put it on yet. I've just washed it and laid it flat to dry. I'll take the stitch marker out now, because if I don't, I'll go to put it on and there'll be a stitch marker in it after I've worn it for several hours. But yeah, that's the folded hat by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. Love it. Again. Next thing that I finished was a dishcloth for Dishcloth Tuesday. You might have saw that short. I did wash it and it looks kind of funny. It dried like that, kind of diagonal, because I hung it on the hanger here. I just hung it by the loop that I made and let it dry. I wasn't gonna wash it, but I did want to a little bit. This is a free pattern. It's the Bernay Handy Crafter Cotton. This is not a color picture. It does have a little loop on there. It is crochet. It's a very simple, well, in my mind, it's a very simple crochet dishcloth where you just chain 32 and then you're just single crochet chain one, single crochet chain one. It's, what do they call that? A moss stitch type thing. So you're single crocheting in one stitch, chaining one, and then single crocheting in the next chain space, and it's all the way over. The only difference is it's a 2 round repeat, and it changes. Like, this was my cast on. I cast on. I did my chain, and then this starts round 1 or row 1. I counted that as my right side, and then 2 is when you turn it. So I put a marker showing a right side and a wrong side, so I know that row 1 is on one side and row 2 is the other side, because the ends on the edges is where it changes on how you do, where you place your stitches. This one I actually started, did I even write it down, which I should have? Yes, on September 23rd, which was last Tuesday. I decided I wanted to do a dishcloth Tuesday. I started it that morning by doing the chain and the first row. Had it at work. I had a couple of longer meetings, about an hour apiece, and I finished it by that afternoon. When I got home that night, I wove in the ends and it was completely finished. This is done with peaches and cream stripy cotton in the color flannel, and I used a USI or a 5.25 millimeter hook. Can't really see that very good, can you? I don't have like an autofocus thing. I'm just using my tablet. So that was started and finished in one day. I don't plan on all my dishcloths being started and finished in one day, but I have this pattern here and I've done this one. It's a free pattern on Yarnspirations. This is a crochet, and I'm writing on it that it's a one-day project. So if you need a couple of dishcloths, you can throw one on in the morning. If you have like 2 hours, I'm sure you can get it done within 2 hours, because that's what it took me, meeting time. 2 1-hour meetings and I was done. And you don't have to block your dishcloths. I was blocking some socks and I threw it in to block it. I don't know why. It's not, I don't know. I use them for washcloths. I use them for dishcloths. Um, and I like doing them. It's nice. I need to make some more pot holders, but because my partner seems to take pot holders when we go camping, and my pot holders never come back. And all but maybe four of our pot holders are handmade because I'll make them, and they stay gone. Okay, so that's done. Um, the next finished object is going to be going to its new home tomorrow, and these are my circus socks. I call them my circus socks. Crayola box socks, whatever. These aren't really from any certain yarn dyer. I got them from Good Yarns in Portland, Oregon. You can get a yarn on the cone by the yard. So it's like so many cents per yard, stuff like that. So she just had these in 50 gram balls already wound up that she was selling for this $5. So it was a good deal. I got 2 balls of it. I did 2 at a time socks. When did I start these? I started these on September the 6th. They were started out as 2 at a time socks, circus carnival yarn. So I call them my circus socks. 64 stitch US 1. It's a 3x1 rib for the cuff. Using knit pick stroll in the yellow for heels and toes. On September 16th, I did the 3x1 for the cuff and for the top of the foot. I was doing a heel flap and gusset as I did here with the circus sock yarn, and I got done at work after a meeting one day, and I put them in I had a small bag that I put them in, and I got out to my vehicle to leave to go home from work. I dropped the bag. I reached down to grab the bag, and I grabbed the socks, and the needles came all the way out. If you've ever dropped stitches from socks and you've had to pick it up in the ribbing, you know what I mean, where it was like front, back, front, back. If you've ever dropped stitches in something in yarn that's kind of colorful like this, it's really hard to pick those stitches up. Well, I came home and I completely restarted this pair of socks on September the 16th. 10 days after I started them, I was at the end of the heel flap. I was just done the heel turn and was ready to get the gusset going. And I dropped all those stitches. But I restarted them on the 16th. It's still 30 rounds for the leg. Heel flap and gusset, 65 rounds for the foot, and then I did the wedge toe. And my wedge toe is just, once I did my 65 rounds, I would knit one, slip, slip, knit to the end, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then do that on the other end every other round. So I have a coworker that really liked the socks. They were originally for my partner. He didn't like the colors. They were too much for him. So my coworker is getting those socks tomorrow. Have you ever worked somewhere where all of a sudden you're in the middle of doing something, a coworker likes it, you know that your partner's not liking them, and that's who you were making them for, and you're like, oh, well, you like them, you can have them when I'm done with them? Just tell me what size shoe you wear so you can make it long enough. And then all of a sudden, 4 days later, there's this email that says, giving gifts to people in the office is not allowed, or some showing favoritism or something like that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, if anybody says, oh, I like the socks that you're making, and I'm not making them for anybody in particular, I may or may not say you can have them. Depends on how well we get along. But anyway, those are going to a coworker because he enjoyed them. He got a laugh out of them, and they're going to him. Okay. That is my 3 finished objects for this week. Yay! I had objects finished, more than 1 or 2. Another little rant. Yes, another little rant is the fact that not everybody on every podcast is a machine and is going to have a finished object, and don't expect a finished object from me every week or even every other podcast, once a month, maybe once every other month. I don't know. Depends on what I'm making. It depends on my mood. It depends also because I had a couple of days, I think I mentioned it last week, where I was sick. I was running a fever. I didn't feel like doing anything. I am not a machine. I'm a human being. This is my hobby. This is what I like to do. And no one's going to tell me that I have to or not have to do something. There's my rant. Okay. What is next? Oh, I guess I can talk about what I've actually been working on. Which, number 1 is the test net, which I only have like that much of done. So it's not a whole lot. It's not a lot to show. I had to wait for a couple of things to get fixed in the pattern after I cast it on, and those things were fixed, and I went back to work on it, and I was sick. So that was my thing. I'm looking here to see when I started it, and I don't think I even wrote it down. Yeah, September 18th, I started the Strip-tastic hoodie from Le Garçon. And it's a test knit, and I'm using a US 5, and that's about all I can really say. I did work on it a little bit. There was an issue, and it was just a typo, but I got ill. I didn't feel good. I didn't pick it up. So now I'm back, and I'm going. So we'll see. I worked on it a little bit today. The other thing is my do tee. And that's this little baby right here, which has some ends that need to be woven in. But I am not done. But as you see, let me see if I can move it in a little bit. There's progress. It's not blocked by all means. This is not, I think I took the stitch marker out from where I last showed it. I think when I last showed it, it was down here. These two are here. I know I showed it with this one at one point, and then I worked down some and I showed it again, so I don't know what it is. So as you can see on here, it's rolled up at the bottom and it looks quite cropped. So this is all stockinette and it started from bottom up. So as I unroll this, I'm going to hold my thumb where it's at. That's how much is rolled up there. So it is longer than it looks by a couple of inches. And there's a crochet edge that's going to go on the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to block this before I do the crocheted bottom edge, because I want to make sure that it's long enough. I knit it longer than what it said. So this was quite cropped, in my opinion. But, excuse me, the issue that I had was last night or yesterday afternoon, I finished with the front and left where you did the V. So I had finished the back, and then I had picked up for the front, and I had knit it long enough that it was already past the length that it said in the pattern. Do I have the pattern? This is in my blue faux leather handbag that I found at the thrift store. Brand spanking new. Still have the new tag on it for $3.50. And it's a huge bag. So it's perfect for a project bag. And it has the pocket on the outside. And I haven't even taken the plastic off of it yet, but this is a brand new bag. It has, we'll take it off now. It has one of those snap keyring holders. So you can snap it. Perfect for putting a keyring for stitch markers on it. Anyway, brand new bag. Love it. So I am doing the size. I'm doing the size 5. So my back should have been knit from the cast on edge until it was like 19 inches long. 10 inches long before you start working the sleeve increases and stuff. And I worked mine until it was 12 inches on the back. And then I worked it to where it met a certain length for here. And then I did the neck shaping. So mine's already longer than what the pattern said. So I don't know what's up. Anyway, it's not been blocked, as you can tell. And this is done in Kelborn Woolens Andorra. And it's in Cloud Gray, which is number 57. And this is 60% merino, 20% Highland wool, and 20% mohair. So, y'all, if you know, you know. This is not the softest, but I find it soft right here. And I'm a very hot person. I have a fan going now. And mohair and I really don't get along, but this is nice. But that Andorra comes in 50 gram skeins, and I think I've gotten 4. I'm on my 4th skein. So I'm hoping, I know I have a 5th skein, and I hope I have I'm sure I have enough. Let me stop there. I am sure I have enough, because this is what I have left right here. This might be skein 5 and I have a 6th skein. What I'm doing right now, if I can get it out without taking it off, is right this minute. Oh, I'm so tangled. I'm working on the I cord. Okay. So I need to make an I cord of approximately 12 inches. And then when it gets to that 12th inch, then I'm going to start applying the I cord up this way and around. And when I get back to meet it, it's going to be another 12 inches because this has a little tie bow on it. Not sure if I'm going to sew that tie together so it doesn't come undone and just kind of sew it there. I'm not a very big bow person, but we'll see. And then you have the I cord edge that will go on the sleeves, and then you have a crochet detail at the bottom for the hem. So there's really not a ribbing or folded hem or anything. It's going to be picking up these stockinette stitches, and there's going to be a crochet edge. But that is the Duetee, Duetee from Fiber Tales. This is my first applied I cord anything. All the I cord that I have done so far in my knitting history has been what I guess what they call an integrated I cord, because it's in my Stephen West painting honeycomb shawl that I'm working on. Excuse me. You're like doing the integrated I cord because you start one side with a knit 3 and then you're doing your pattern, and when you get to the other end you're slipping 3 stitches with the yarn in the front, and then whenever you flip it you're knitting 3, which is the I cord. But that's what I'm doing. So that one there, I looked it up last time because I could not remember, but I started the Duetee by Fiber Tales on March 30th of 2025. Up until last week, it has sat in a bag. And I think that's where I was whenever I showed it last. No, the yellow is where I was when I showed it last, because I had all of this done and I just needed to show it again. One of these 2 markers is where I was done. It's bottom up, so it wasn't that much. I was already doing the decreases for the armhole. So one of these 2 markers is where you saw it last. So I finished up to the where you put the shoulder stitches on hold, and then I picked it up in the front and I worked the 2 fronts. The issue I had yesterday is last night I finished the 2 fronts and I went to Kitchener stitch them together. So you sew them together here, the front and the back. And I thought, oh, I have this, and I had the front right on the needle, and I went to get the back right so that I could Kitchener them together. I get done Kitchenering, sewing them together, and when I hold it up, there's like 3 head holes. You can guess what I did. Yes, I did the right front to the left back, and it went in timeout for the rest of the night. And this morning I got up with a cup of coffee, a fresh perspective, and I sat down and I took the Kitchener out, which is easy in the middle. It's the 2 ends that are hard to do. And I redid it. I got both shoulders sewn together and I got the I cord started. So I'm proud of myself. Okay. Next, I have the Rowan Gillespie knit along. I showed this last time, but this isn't a very special bag to me because at Flock Fiber Festival, I met this woman from California. Her name is Stephanie, and she is called the Beetle Lady. And you can find her online as thebeetlelady.com. And we met her at the brewery on that Saturday night where it was the Stitch and Greet or Stitch whatever, Sip and Stitch, whatever they called it at Flock Fiber Festival. Her and her friends were just amazing. We struck a conversation. We saw each other the next day. I had went back to the hotel room that Saturday night and looked her up, and she said that she does all of these drawings of the beetles. I mean, she goes to schools and she talks to them about the insects and beetles and all kinds of things, and it's wonderful. Anyway, she said that she takes her drawings of the beetles and she turns them into bags and things. These are the water beetles or water bugs. This is her bag. Thank you, Stephanie. This is her drawing that gets printed on this. You hear that? It's a canvas bag. It's just plain inside. What does it say it is? It's a polyester bag. And you hand wash it. And it's holding my Rowan knit along. And this just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. And the people that you meet at Flock Fiber Festival at these things, it's just, fiber brings you together. And they're amazing people. Teachers, it's just, oh my gosh, there's so many different people. I met several teachers that were there. I met Stephanie. I met so many different people. I can't even remember them all. But yeah, that's awesome. And that's one of her bags. And that's great. Just great. And I love it. And it's a tote bag. And I have a project in it. And it doesn't have to be a project bag. It can be a anything bag. The way it's made, I think I would take it to the beach if I wanted to. They're just really cool. Just really cool. Anyway, I'm going to show you. You have to go on to rowan.com because I cannot pronounce it. It's Gillespie. And I'm doing it on straight needles. So down here, I had started it with circulars. I can't do it with the circulars. I tried DPNs. I couldn't do it with DPNs. But this is block 1, and I'm not even done with it, so I can't show the chart or anything. But you can join up for free. I'm using Rowan. I'm thinking of doing a blanket size. I may wind up just doing the cushion because you can do it as a cushion or a blanket. I am using, if I can get the ones with the ball bands out, Rowan Norwegian wool in number 23, which is red velvet, and number 20, which is frost pink or frosty pink. I think it's frost pink. Lovely. This is just the first block of week 1. Week 2 is already out, and I haven't even touched week 2. And tomorrow, week 3 will be out. So this is the snowball. And then week 2 is a snowflake, and I don't know what week 3 is going to be. But it's in here. It's wonderful. I love it. It's amazing. I was getting confused with the chart, so I wound up having to do a highlighter on my chart. Excuse me. So that means that I'm going to have to, either reprint my chart for each block or find a way to do it where it changes it on my chart for a couple blocks, because that block, I think I need more than one. So there's a 2-color version, there's a multicolor version, which is like 3 different colors, the 2-color version. You can do a blanket, you can do a cushion cover, and it tells you how many that you would need for each block for a cushion cover and how many you need of each block for a blanket. So you can do both if you wanted to. I'm just going to show you the name. It's a Arna and Carlos. This is just the first block, so that's what I'm making right there. That's just a picture and the name of the pattern. So you go on to rowan.com and sign up for the festive cow, and you can get the pattern from them. It's amazing. And they have a Facebook group too, so you can see other people's as well. Okay. Those are the 2 things that I've worked on. Other than the test knit, I'm only going to show what I worked on, not what's over here in the whip pile, because the whip pile is still sitting there. I do want to show you some yarn though. First, I want to show you from Good Water Company this little bag. It's a Scrabble tile. This is the back and the bottom. It's just a simple bag. It's got a grommet in the top so you can run your yarn through it. And it's just plain muslin on the inside. Now, I have a pin right here because this is just a bag that you put a skein of yarn in. You can run the yarn through, and it keeps it separated while you're doing color work or whatever. It can sit down inside your project bag, and you can have another color, and you can have a color in here. I want to snap. So I have positioned a pin to where my little Scrabble piece will sit on it, and I'm gonna do a sew on metal snap so I can just snap it together, because that's just me. I love it. She's on Etsy, Good Water and Co. I love her little bag. I'm just gonna put a snap on it. I did have yarn in here. I was gonna try to use it, but it just, yeah, I'm I'm perfectly fine with putting my own snap on. I'm good with that. And it came pretty quick too. It was nice. She's in the US. Just scrap material. It's cute. It is. It's just a box bottom scrap material, and it's cute. What else am I doing? Um oh, I have a special bag. Looky here. A Project 39 by Redesign. Was a splurge. I love it. I don't have anything in it yet. It's got an inner pocket. Oh, I do have something in it. I have a Skein Yarn Shop Notions pouch. It's got elastic bands on one side, a pocket on the inside. It's got these two little pockets. Oh my god, you've seen them all over the place. I'm not going to go weirdo on you. I have a couple of Portland leather bags that I've just received from Portland Leather. You've seen them on here already. This was a splurge for myself. It has the strap, the handles, the front pocket. Trying to figure out what project to put in here. I love it. It's got so many pockets. Not sure what these are for. There's one on the handle. There's two of them here. If you know what those are for, let me know. I think I can I know I can use them, but I'm not sure what they were intended for. Yeah, there's a zipper pocket. There's more elastic straps there. And y'all, this is nothing but a really cute hair tie that I found the other day. And I thought, that is perfect. I just wrapped it around, and it's got the perfect little bow. Isn't it gorgeous? So, yep, that's a new project bag. Twice sheared sheep. Isn't that adorable? Isn't it adorable? I am not too into the zippered project bags, but the redesign and this one was kind of hard to pass up. I prefer snap, drawstring, or open, but this was just too adorable. Look at them. Too adorable. Okay, so fiber for the people. 100% Nevada Merino Ramble, 350 yards. It's a sport weight. This is, oh my gosh. Taylor said it on her podcast. It's a bright blue, and it's from the Witch's Heart update that she did. I love it. I got the last two. Still trying to figure out what to make with that. Because, look at this. I mean, honestly, bright blue and me, however you want to look at it, not sure how you want to do that. but I love it. I do have a spin cycle that I got in 2024 at Flock Fiber Festival that is a blue that's similar to this with a pink. I may do a pressed flowers hat, but I'm not sure. And when I got good water, this came in it. It was a complete surprise. Yarn. I got this, I opened it up, and this little notions pouch was stuffed down in there. Isn't that awesome? I love it. It's just a simple zipper pouch, no lining, just simple. I love these. I love them. They're just, it's amazing. But that came from Goodwater and Co. as well. But here's the kicker. Skein Yarn Shop, Trunk Show, Needle at the Ready, on their Apollo base, the Ganzit Glow. Special order, pre-ordered. It was just that trunk show only. And when I got this, look at those colors. Amazing. Look at that. And when I got this, I got the pouch also. I love these little pouches. Yeah. There you go. An hour later, and love it. Just love it. Oh, twice sheared sheet. Another little pouch, pocket. These are heavy material. They're not just they've got to be quilt cotton, but they're a heavier material. So yeah, this is the start of another 2 at a time pair of socks, done in Always Be Kind yarn. It's s'mores. I think I showed it before. Summer campfire. I found this mini. This is all messed up here because it's all in here. I have gotten it. Yeah, there. Boy, it's coming all apart. I'm using that right there. I need to redo them. I don't know what happened there. And this is the main color right here. And this is the mini color. And that's going to be another pair of 2 at a time socks. I just cast those on last night. So I guess I didn't show everything. But I need to write them in the book. I haven't written them in the book yet. Okay, everybody. That is so much. Everything that I showed other than the new items is things that I've shown in the past. All of the details are on those videos, but if you want or have any questions or need a link to anything, please leave a comment below and I can throw it in there. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I've enjoyed mine so far. Not looking forward to Monday tomorrow, but hey, it's got to be done. Do something that makes you happy. And do something for you. If you don't normally do something for you, do something for you. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye.